What's going on, people? It's now time to predict the 11. We've got James and Laurie with me for the game against Crystal Palace here on Wednesday, 8 PM kickoff. Boys, I mean, this could be anything, if I'm honest. He's trying new things. Yeah, he's trying new things now. Obviously, everyone is looking at PSG. Would he be trying new things for PSG in this game? Like we saw some good things in Ipswich. I saw Marv Escalade in the midfield. I saw him even bring up Butler and Deji, bring him up. I was so happy to see that. So we may see some more rotation from Arteta. We're going to try and predict what we want to see, what we think Arteta's going to go with. Starting in goal, University, I'm sure we all agree, David Raya.
Yeah, but because there's such a gap as well to PSG, he's not been tempted to rest him at any point and give Neto those minutes. Neto was really there to fill a place in the squad, and I get it, Arsenal had to do something, but yeah, it was just in case there's an emergency, otherwise it's Raya's place. So, yeah.
Okay. Laurie, I'm sure you agree with me.
Yeah, there's no point in changing goalkeeper. You know what I mean? Raya's looked excellent this season, and his place is pretty much assured right now.
Okay, Ben White, full game against Ipswich.
Yeah.
Full 90 minutes, worked hard. I mean, I say worked hard, they went down to 10 men. He
didn't really have much to do.
He did work hard though. I mean, he was really bombing up and down that right channel.
Mm-hmm.
He gives us something there that Timber doesn't. And I was on this preview with you and Dan before Real Madrid, and there's so much about Julian Timber I love, and maybe in almost every other aspect. I think Timber might have the edges. I think as an attacking option, as someone in the final third, I never thought I'd say this about centre-back, converted right-back, Ben White. And also Ben White, I think 6'1", Timber's 5'10". Yeah, you'd think Timber would be the more naturally, like, what's the word?
Agile.
Agile kind of. He fits the more typical overlapping full-back.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm trying to say. But it's actually Ben White who's kind of his understanding of that, the timing of those runs, the movement, and exposing teams out wide. He does it really well and has been for a few seasons now. So if we need a goal, he's an option.
Keeps his place for you, or he played so many minutes?
We'll put him centre back and give Saliba a rest. But yeah,
that's what you want to. Okay, so you want to see him
just to see it.
Okay, Laurie, for you, Ben White played a lot of minutes. James has opted for him in that centre position. Would you want to see Julian Timber feature in this game after he's been rested? After this game, there is a rest as well, the FA Cup weekend, so we haven't got a game. What would you go with?
I think that position is one of those classic positions in the team where it's good to see two top quality players fighting it out for the position now that Ben White's approaching back to full fitness. What I would say though is, I'm not sure if James would agree with me, I think there's a little bit of daylight being established now, where I think Timber, even though I rate Ben White, it's looking like Timber might be just that little bit in front, for me anyway.
Yeah, Timber had a lot more minutes than Ben White over the course.
No, I'm talking about as a footballer.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. But I don't know if I was edging. Is that recency bias, or is that how you believe?
Yeah, maybe there's a bit of recency, but I've always been impressed by Timber. Even when he first came in the team, then he picked up the injury, but he just ticks all the boxes, man. I just think he's a more rounded player than Ben White right now. But having said that, for this particular game, with the rotations and trying to play people into form and stuff, and the fact that Timber's played a lot of minutes this season, has played through injury at times, then I would go Ben White at right back. Okay,
Ben White. Okay. I'm going to let you guys decide. I think during Timber he might get the nod for this one because Ben White played so many minutes, and you might see a half-time swap. I think he'll manage the minutes.
Prediction is White, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly.
Okay.
But I'd like it to be Timber, White, Kivior, Lewis Skelly.
Timber, White, Kivior, Lewis Skelly.
So really, it's our starting back four, but with Saliba out. Saliba maybe can come off half an hour. You could even bring Saliba on for Kivior and say, let's just try White and Saliba. Why not for a bit? But yeah, that's my prediction and my preferred.
I'd go slightly different. I would go Ben White, as we said, at right back. Yeah. I'd maintain the centre back partnership, which starting to bear fruit. Those two look like they're already establishing a good partnership. Kivior, you can see the confidence of the man. I was quite critical of him previously, although I was advocating for him. Remember, we had that debate, didn't we, a little while back about who should start at centre back with Gabriel being out, and I was saying, even though Kivior's not always impressed, I would go for him over Ben White because he's a natural left-sided centre back. To be fair to him, he's come in and he's done pretty well, really well actually. So yeah, let's see that partnership continue. And for left back, I would taking the bling off. Yeah, you're not going to get robbed around here.
My change got popped.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Right. Anyway, back to business.
Left back.
Left back, I'd go Kieran Tierney. Yeah, let's give Kieran Tierney some minutes. There's only was it 5 games left to the end of the season?
Yeah.
We need to rotate, and Kieran Tierney, every time he's come in, he's done a good job. So yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna jump in. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Sorry, Timber right back, Saliba Kivior centre back pairing. I think you're spot on. I played in teams where centre back pairings wanna keep it. They don't want to disrupt that. They want to keep building confidence, and I can see that from them on the pitch. So I understand that for them, they're not going to want that disrupted. And Arteta, he's going strong in the games, regardless if it's Premier League or Champions League. So they'll stay, I reckon, and that's what I want to see. And left back, I'm with you. Kieran Tierney. Zinchenko obviously started the last game, but Kieran Tierney, why not? I think he's been superb.
And you know what? It's funny, right? Because myself and Robbie were at a family function yesterday, and there was a lot of people there, all Arsenal fans, and we got into this debate about Mars Lewis Skelly. And Robbie made a really good point. He was saying, listen, man, Mars Lewis Skelly, who's the number 1 choice at the moment, he's seen off about 4 or 5 senior players for that position.
Yeah.
It's amazing what he's done. So,
yeah, really
but yeah, for this particular game, I'll go Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, okay, all right. I think Arteta will lean more towards you said what did you just remind me about?
I think he'll do White, Saliba, Kivior, or Lewis Skelly.
Yeah, okay, that's a strong battle. I think he'll take it seriously, go strong. Midfield 3.
Partey, number 6.
Yep.
Number 8, I would go with Zinchenko and Martin Odegaard, who started to look a bit more like his old self yesterday. I would go with him. That would be my midfield trio.
What I want is actually what I also think he'll do. I agree, Partey.
Yeah.
Because I think Rice will come on, and I think it's right to maybe sort of, only give him 30 minutes or so. Marino and Odegaard. Because I think you want to see more Marino in the 8. And I think the way to test for PSG in this game, we know what Rice can do in the 6. It's more to see if Marino can keep getting up to scratch in the 8. So I think Marino, Partey, Odegaard.
He's going to do that. He's either going to do that or he's going to put Rice in there.
I hope he doesn't play Rice, man. I mean, listen, Rice is a tremendous player. He's banging form. However, he needs a rest, man. I mean, that guy gets through more work than the vast majority of players in the Premier League. I know he's got an incredible engine, and I know he's bang on form and stuff, but we need him. I mean, when we come against PSG, physically, they're going to be a bit more difficult for him than Real Madrid. They got more legs in there than Real Madrid did. Yeah. So I think we need him at his optimum. Let's give him a rest.
I really want to say this, Declan Rice is an unbelievable player. And I know people will know this, but I was sat there in Portman Road, he is ridiculous. I know when we say the best ball winner, I actually think in the world, by the way. I promise you. The way he reads, I think
he's the best ball winner in the world.
And I might be going overboard, but I was sat there, I said to Robbie, I said, he's actually a joke, he's everywhere. He understands the game so well. You can't beat him. Even when he chooses to go to ground, he always comes out with the ball. He's a clean tackler. He reads the game well. His ability, his quality. I can't speak highly of this man. And I've watched him for long enough now to be like, do you know what? All the people were saying what Nicky said before. I've watched him come through the academy over Lampard, Rio. He was the best. At first, I said, "You're going crazy." I watch him and think, I fully understand that. He is unbelievable. And
did he say that at the academy he's better than Rio?
That's what he said. That's what he said. And I thought he was going mad. I watch him now, and listen, we've got great players in this Arsenal side. I'm so proud to be an Arsenal fan. We've got so much young talent, quality players. But I sat there in Portman Road, and I know it's Ipswich. I said, he hasn't put a foot wrong. Do you know how difficult that is in a game to not put one foot wrong? Misplaced. He was phenomenal. I said, yep, do you know what? Hats off to him. I just thought I had to mention that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We said on Forever Arsenal, we were like, Rice just didn't have to talk about it.
I had to bring it up because.
But don't you think though that the PSG is just round the corner really? We don't have a game at the weekend. So the game against Palace is the last game.
I get that.
I mean, I'm not saying that he can't get any minutes. I'm saying to start him.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, let's rest him up.
Listen, either way, I think it's going to either be Partey in there or Rice in there, and then like you said, Marino will probably go back in that 8th position with Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard needs to keep his run of form. Seems like he's returning a little bit back to what we've seen in the past. And Mikel Marino, I think he's still trialing it. So
don't you think though, with the likes of Zinchenko and guys like I mentioned Tierney earlier, and there's 1 or 2 others as well. You need to keep the pot boiling because if they are needed against PSG at any time, you don't want them to be just raw. You know what I'm saying? They need some minutes to acclimatise and. It's all right training, but training and.
But you don't bring them in unless it's drastic measures, in my opinion. I don't think you bring them in to
no, you're preparing them so that if you need them.
PSG, but I think it's only if it's a red card or someone's injured in that position. Your only option is bringing a Zinchenko. I think it's just I don't think it's needed unless it's really there's no other option.
All right, let me tell you why I hear what you're saying, but let me tell you why I respectfully disagree with what you're saying. So you got these guys, right, and they're on the bench, game after game after game, okay? And something happens in a game, the manager needs to make a tactical change, or there's an injury or something happens. You bring on somebody that's not played for 3, 4, 5 weeks. Are you really expecting that guy to then perform at optimum levels when he's not played for X amount of weeks, and you go into a cauldron of a Champions League semi-final? You're expecting him to do bits.
So my counter, I think that's harsh. I did say injury, but my counter is that I think we have more enough cover in say the midfield. Zinchenko will be the last option for me. Jorginho, who I believe, and I think you believe as well, may return by the time we play PSG. In my opinion, it's a broken rib. Listen, you can't mend them. You have to let it heal by itself.
Depends how. Confirmed it's a broken rib.
Well, I just saw it says rib online. Yeah. So, and if that's a bruised rib, if there's a small fracture, that can return. So Zinchenko in the midfield for me is the last option. So yes, you might want to keep him taking over, but I think PSG, that's the last option. If we go to Real Madrid, I wouldn't expect Zinchenko to. He didn't really figure on the pitch. I expect that. Who's the other one? Kieran Tierney. Again, we've got so many left backs. Last option. So for me, yeah, you keep the pot boiling, but I don't think it's necessary as what you're saying. That's my opinion. Let me go into the front three. I mean, it's probably obvious. Bukayo, Trossard, Martinelli.
It's Waneri, Trossard, and Martinelli for me. I think he had ice on his ankle again. Saka, he gets kicked all the time. He can come on for 35 minutes if he's fit. I mean, yeah, keep getting minutes in him. He's had a Premier League start now. But yeah, it'd be 3 games in a week for him if he starts this one. And yes, I understand we're sort of getting ready for PSG, but look what we did against Real Madrid. I mean, he's ready. He's mentally and physically there. Yeah. So let's just look after him. So yeah, Saka, Rice are the only two I'm really kind of concerned about protecting. But up to me, I wouldn't start Saka, Rice or Saliba in this game.
Fair. Laurie, are you going to be like your brother, who is blasphemous if someone says rest Saka? He hates it.
No,
do you start him?
No, I don't start him, man.
Okay.
I mean, you saw yesterday when he went down, we was all having kittens when we saw that.
I like that expression.
And I just listen. He's so important to the team. He's like Declan Rice as well. Played a lot of football since he's come back with the injury in a short space of time. Like James says, gets kicked game after game after game. To me, there's a little bit of daylight now between us and Newcastle for the second place. Yeah. Rest Saka. We know he's going to feature against PSG. Rest him up, man. But Waneri looked bright when he come on, got a goal. Let's see him, man. Because again, we may need to call on Waneri over the course of those 2 legs. So when he does come on, he would have some football minutes behind him.
So are you going Ethan, Trossard, Martinelli, or I don't know if you put Mourinho in your midfield or not?
I'll probably rest up Mourinho as well, to be honest, for this game. I put Trossard through the middle. He looked pretty good yesterday, got his 2 goals. For the left side, I'd rest Martinelli as well. I'd rest him up, man. He's been putting in a prodigious amount of work.
So I've got it. So Odegaard, Partey, Zinchenko's your midfield 3. Yeah. And then you'd go Waneri, Trossard, and who on the left?
Who on the left, though? Because there's not much options there. You
know where I'm going to go with.
It's really stunning.
Oh, of course, I completely forgot. Okay, fine, yeah.
Do you know what else singing? Ipswich? You might have heard it from Forever Arsenal.
What were they singing?
If Sterling scores, we're on the pitch. Do you know how disrespectful that is? If Sterling scores, we're on the pitch. That is how low.
The Ipswich fans sing that.
Arsenal fans were singing that. If Sterling scores, we're on the pitch. And then, when Butler...
Was it light-hearted stuff? Though?
Brother, when Butler and Deji came on, they said, if Butler scores, we're on the pitch. Those are the only 2 players they mentioned. So that's what they... Listen, big up Sterling, Jamaican brother.
Come on, did he?
Who?
Sterling?
No, he did. Come on.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I've checked out all the last 10 minutes. I was just like,
yeah, he come on. But okay, so you're going with... Okay, that's an interesting front line. Arteta's definitely going to go with that. I actually think he starts Saka because that's just what he does. Trossard, and then, Martinelli.
I think there's an inherent risk in doing that, man. I mean,
so do I.
You got the warning sign yesterday. I mean, by the way, that tackle yesterday, I don't think enough people are giving it enough of the condemnation that it deserves. I mean, you were at the game, right?
I was going mad.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I know what you're doing. I know
some
what
people are trying to compare it with the Tarkowski.
I know what you knew. Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Listen,
I know what
some people are trying to compare it with the Tarkowski one, right? A couple of weeks ago, for which he should have gone and he didn't.
What's that? When he tried to clear, he went over the ball.
Clean out the guy. But for me, that one, the one yesterday was worse because at least with Tarkowski, he could make the claim that he was challenging for the ball.
Yeah,
the ball was there to be won.
The ball's going.
The ball was gone,
Yeah.
and Saka had his back to the man, and the guys deliberately
He
raked him.
knew what he
he
was
meant
doing.
to do him because Saka was cleaning him out all the game.
The highest amount
disgusting
of punishment
tackle.
should have been given that. And listen, I hope Saka is recovering. We saw the ice on his ankle. I heard Mikel Arteta afterwards say, you know, he's walking again. He should be fine. It's impact, but
Actually, talking about Palace, it was against Palace that Saka got the injury, wasn't it? Because me and you were at
There you
that
go.
game.
That seals it. Don't start. Do not play. Don't.
No, it was against Palace, right?
I can't remember.
Me and you were there.
It was against Palace.
Because I remember when Saka went down, one of their players went
Oh,
over
yes.
to Saka,
Yes.
and he was telling
Yes,
him to get
yes,
up.
yes.
Yeah,
Of
and
course
me
it
and
was.
you
We
were
were
going
there.
absolutely
We were
mad.
Yeah,
We were
go
going
away. Yeah,
apoplectic.
you're
Because
right.
it was like, yo,
You're
he
right.
don't do that.
Spot on.
If he's down there rolling around, he's injured. He's not
spot
the
on.
type of guy to feign injury. And then we
Footballers
find out,
footballers love to just do.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. Just like I don't want to call it camera stuff, but you know, there's moments like
Yeah.
telling others to get up, and it's like, but, gosh, he's
Do you know
his
what?
hamstring for God's sake.
Absolutely
I just felt like an idiot after that.
full, absolutely poor of me. I was not there with you. I was in Sierra Leone.
Somebody was there with
Abue
me.
and that, and he said we both all said.
I know, I was at the game.
As soon as he went down, we said that was it. Yeah, he said he's injured. So yeah, of course, that was the 5-0 or the 5-1. It was 5-1. Yeah,
It was at Palace,
Massive
though.
game.
I
Yeah,
remember
it was at Palace,
because I
right.
was at the game.
Do you know
right?
what? James was spot on though. The demons and all the spirits were like, don't start him. I don't want to see him start. Put Ethan there, but I know Arteta. Listen,
Talking of which
they're
as
always
well,
ready.
is that the Ipswich fans were proper having a go at Saka as well, is they?
Yeah, they were booing.
And he was the. They should be booing their own player.
Yeah, ridiculous. Well, listen, that is it. We come to the close, the end of this Predicts 11. What we want to see, what we think Arteta's going to go with. Thoughts in the comments. Do you rest Saka? Because I thought we had an argument at Ipswich about it. Do you rest him or do you start him? You know, do you take every game serious? He's our best player. Do you play him? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video on your way out, and we'll see you again soon. Come on, you Gunners.